The New South Wales Premier has praised the state for standing tall during the pandemic despite a record rise in COVID infections. Authorities are confident the fourth Ashes test will become a super spreader event, but say the high vaccine rate should control the severity.
Another national COVID record, but the New South Wales Premier appears unfazed.
We've got through the last 2 years and we'll get through this difficult time as well. Every challenge that has come our way, our state has stood tall.
He's confident Omicron cases will rise consistently, but a high vaccine rate will control the severity.
We do expect to see a sharp escalation, a continued escalation in case numbers, but the experience around the world with Omicron is then followed by a sharp decline.
35,054 COVID cases have been reported in the past 24 hours from 109,000 tests. 1,491 cases are in hospital and 119 in ICU. The Premier had kept a low profile as admissions and infections increased. On Wednesday, the government rolled out a billboard campaign to remind residents to only get PCR tested if symptomatic or a known close contact. But the opposition says it's too late.
The government was warned that with rising case numbers there would be pressure on both the public hospital system and the testing facilities right across this state. Not enough was done. So emergency measures like signs telling people not to get PCR tests might be necessary, but frankly it shouldn't have come to this.
From next week, children aged 5 to 11 will be eligible to receive a COVID vaccine. They'll be able to do so at New South Wales health clinics, local GPs or pharmacies. In the past week, children under the age of 9 have accounted for 7% of infections.
There's a lot of work going on in the community at the moment, and our health teams who are supporting the tens of thousands of cases in the community every day are going unrecognised.
Leaders have praised healthcare workers as hospital admissions almost double in 7 days.
That should not be seen as a failure. That is seen as a system that is connected and working, and every single day of the week, 7 days a week, we meet with our chief executives, we talk about where our system pressures are.
Authorities are certain the fourth Ashes test at the Sydney Cricket Ground will become a super spreader event. Around 35,000 spectators are expected on days 1 and 2. Unlike last year, COVID protocols at this year's test are far less arduous. Masks are not mandatory in outdoor seating, and while last year was capped at 25%, this year there's no limit. Spectators were asked not to attend if feeling unwell or showing any sign of symptoms. Around 240,000 virtual pink seats are hoped to be sold before Friday on Jane McGrath Day to raise money for breast cancer nurses.
It's the beginning of a new year. We're all optimistic about the future. We're learning to live with the pandemic, and this is a moment, no matter where you are, whether you're watching the test from the UK, from Australia.
We have made the efforts to get our state through this difficult time, and we'll continue to do that as we move through the coming weeks and months ahead.
Jessica Maggio, Sky News, Sydney.